Hola mis amigos, we're making movie theater popcorn. For today's video, we will be using the AICOOK Retro Series Kettle Popcorn Maker to make our popcorn. And this is the same company that we used last time to make our keto waffles, and I will have a link to that in the description box below to check it out. And their products are fantastic, so I'm already very excited to check out this popcorn maker. Now this machine is pretty tall, so you can't really see the buttons on top, so I will go ahead and do a close-up of that to show you that when that time comes. But what it does come with is it does come with the kettle, of course, to make the popcorn, as well as a nice large tray here to catch our popcorn. So all we do is just open that, place that here. There was just a little assembly required, which has to do with just putting the kettle, which is this part, into place, as well as putting the handle on, which we'll be using to empty all of the popcorn into the container. And it also comes with the scoops that you need for measuring. So here is a 3-ounce scoop for your kernels, as well as a 2/3 of a tablespoon scoop for your oil. And if you're into kettle corn, this is going to be for your sugar. So after you've assembled and cleaned everything through, the instructions are to go ahead and turn it on and allow it to heat for 2 to 3 minutes. So I'm going to do that, and then we will return. I just wanted to quickly show you the controls on the top of the machine. We have the switch for the light, and that did turn the light on, as well as for the kettle. So I'm going to turn that on now and allow this to go for 3 minutes to heat up. All right, we are back, and I let that run for 3 minutes to heat up, and I turned off the kettle switch on top, but I did leave the light switch on, as you can see. So now the next step is simply to add our oil, our seasoning, and our kernels. So for my oil, I am going to be using, if we can get this to focus, here we are, At the Movies popcorn, buttered flavored popcorn topping. And everyone says this is the best thing to use to get that theater-like feeling. So I am just going to pour some of this into the provided oil scoop. There we are. And we're just going to open the door, lift up the kettle, and pour our oil directly into the kettle. And then next, what you would do is, if you're into kettle corn, which I am not, you would add your sugar. But instead, I'm going to add my favorite popcorn seasoning. And again, we're going for that movie theater taste. So I am using Flavacol, which is a popcorn seasoning, and they also make it for snow cones as well as cotton candy machines. So this is exactly what you would find in commercial areas where people are selling popcorn and things like that, carnival type foods. So I say all of that to say that this is a really good seasoning. So this asks for, I'm just trying to make sure we get all of that oil out of here before we add our seasoning. This asks for about a 1/2 teaspoon. So that's all I'm adding. I'm not going to fill up the entire scoop here of our seasoning. And we are going to finally add our kernels using the provided scoop. Again, that is 3 ounces of kernels. And just gonna close that, close our door, and turn it back on. And soon enough, we should start to hear some popping. And once the popping is all done, we are going to turn off the kettle and then use the handle to empty it to get all of our delicious popcorn out. So I'm just going to let this run until you guys start to see it popping, and then we will be back with our finished product. Okay, I've just started to hear some popping happening, and that took about 3 minutes or so to get started. And unfortunately, the door is starting to fog up, so I'm not sure how much longer you'll be able to see things, but I see it trying to pop out. There we go. That's our first bit of popcorn. Okay, so the popping has subsided, so I'm going to go ahead and use the handle here to pour. Let me open the door just so you can see, but you don't want to do this with the door open. And we're just gonna dump the rest right out. Yeah, not a good idea to do this with the door open. Let me get all of this out and we'll be back. All right, we are back with our finished product. So we have a full bin of popcorn, and that is just from the provided 3-ounce scoop of kernels. Now, some of the kernels did not pop, but that's typical with popcorn, and it has a lot to do with the heating of the kettle, because I did spend a lot of time talking with you after I preheated the kettle so it wasn't as hot as I wanted it to be when I added the kernels, which is why it took about 3 minutes for it to get started. But once it did get started, everything was fantastic. And let's go ahead and give that a taste with our seasoning. I'm not a real big fan of popcorn, full disclosure, but I do love the movie theater experience and the flavor. So, oh, and also, by the way, you would go ahead and add some more oil on top if you are the type that likes to add oil after you have popped your popcorn, and that is so me, but I want to taste it as it is first before adding anything else. So let's check it out. Perfectly seasoned. Of course, that has a lot to do with the seasoning and the oil that you use, but that tastes exactly like movie theater popcorn. So all that's left is to add all of the oil that you want on top, and then you are good to go to enjoy your movie. Special thanks to AICOOK for letting us check out this wonderful popcorn maker. If you love nostalgia, if you love movie popcorn, and you want to make it at home, I highly recommend this device. It's a lot of fun. It's something you can get the kids involved in, and it makes great popcorn, so what is there to lose? I will have a link in the description box below for you to check it out, as well as links to the oil and the seasonings that I use. And as always, I will see you next time. Movie theater popcorn. Enjoy, and I'll see you at the dinner table.